Our stories go all the way back to a time, they say, when ash was still flying in the wind. In the Tlingit way, we would have called this Auk Sit, which means Auk Glacier. We believe that the glacier is alive. It moves forward and it moves backwards, and over time, we have walked over glaciers, we have come under glaciers, and there are stories and songs that are sung. Glaciers absorb all your energy, and so this is a beautiful place to work as a cultural ambassador, because I witness people coming in every day saying, ooh, aw, and wow.
Tlingit and Haida is the oldest and largest federally recognized tribe in Alaska with about 38,000 tribal citizens worldwide. We're right here in southeast Alaska. Here in Juneau, we have the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center. It's a real sought-out destination. We get about 1.5 to 1.6 million individual unique visitors to the glacier a year. A number of years ago at the glacier, there was this tour, and someone asked why there was nothing talking about the indigenous people. And the person running the visitor center at the time's response was, well, the Tlingit people didn't really have anything to do with glaciers. So I was a little more than probably a little offended by that statement. And it kind of motivated me to be like, hey, we should have a presence out there. We need to be telling our story.
Coming underneath the glaciers and traveling in order to come back here.
I think a lot of people who don't understand tribes and our inherent sovereignty and our governance. We approached the Department of Agriculture and the Forest Service as a government to government. We are a federally recognized tribe. We have that capacity to enter into contracts, and so we've done that. We've exercised that authority. And they finally saw the value of doing a co-stewardship agreement with us.
The Cultural Ambassador Program, right now we are in our second year. With last year being the pilot year, we kind of had to develop how we're going to do this. We started off with just a couple ambassadors. The Forest Service was welcoming us with open arms and saying, hey, let's give it a shot, see how well this works. And this year particularly, we have much stronger presence out here at the glacier.
We have an elder out there, and his clan, his history is there, and he's Akwan, which is the local clan. He literally is welcoming people to his land and telling that the history and the story of his people.
I started with this program last year in April. I've met people from Germany, Switzerland, Australia, Italy, Japan, all over. I love meeting people. We share our words of different plants and animals. In the visitor center, if you look, there'll be plaques with Tlingit names on them. We put in a totem pole up in the visitor center, and we have plans for 5 more out here. And we have an opportunity to share our culture, our language, our stories. This has never been done before. People, anywhere they look out here, they'll know that it's a part of the Tlingit people being out here.
So this map covers the Juneau ice field, and we are right here at the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center, this yellow dot. And what we saw earlier is just this little portion right here, the Mendenhall Glacier. The glaciers are receding a lot quicker. They're thinning out, they're getting narrower, and when this map was made in 2009, you could see where the face of the glacier was at. Then they estimated at 2050, the glacier is going to be right here. However, that's where the glacier's at currently at 2025. So their estimations were off, and they estimate now at 2050, the glacier's going to be back even further, and we possibly may not even see it. And where we're at here at the visitor center, we do have a mountain right behind us that's Mount Bullard. And right behind Bullard is the basin. The basin is the one that's filling up with the water, that's getting full, and it's at capacity.
that basin is just filling and filling and filling. And so right now, if I held up my arm, the Mendenhall Glacier is like a dam, and it's holding the water in the basin. Eventually, because the pressure cannot be handled, it will sort of lift a little bit, and then the water will come out in an outburst. And so most of this area will be flooded.
Not sure if you can see ripples at the base of the glacier. So I'm not sure if that's what it's happening, like it's actually might be coming out and you might be able to catch it. Yep, that's what it's doing. So she is coming out.
Because of the Mendenhall Glacier and its receding, Juneau's making national and actually worldwide headlines right now because of flooding.
It seems to get worse every year as far as water coming in, something we're learning to cope with. For the flooding, we have closed down all the trails. We'll keep them closed until it has burst and drained itself. And it's for the safety of the people, because this right now is about 3 to 4 feet before it'll crest, but that could change in 5 minutes. From experience from last year, if you see how high the water is already, it's going to get higher. And all of this will be underwater. It'll all start heading down Mendenhall River. That's where the danger is, because you got homes on the banks there and stuff. And depending on how bad the rush is, I mean, it'll just wash away the banks. There's no stopping it.
During the flood response in Juneau last year, we actually went out and we were taking firsthand looks at the damage and the impacts on our tribal citizens.
The flood started coming up our street at 3 in the morning is when we saw it started to hit the garage. And then we thought it was gonna stop there. I had my husband check it out, and he said, it's like a river out there. So I came out, and our yard and everything was full, and we had it in our house. We went downstairs, and our washer and dryer and freezers were all floating.
Last year, the flood happened, and Tlingit and Haida was able to step forward in that physical, meaningful way right then.
We never experienced any of this and didn't know what to do, and they showed up and just helped us, like cutting the drywall and ripping out all the flooring and getting rid of all the stuff that's damaged and everything. And that really helped was they brought food. They showed up, and I had a brand new baby, and we don't even know when we ate last, and that was a really big help, and them coming and checking on us.
The tribe has built up its capacity. Our staff are well trained and have the pedigree for that. So when the first major flood outbreaks happened where homes were lost, homes were damaged, it wasn't the municipality, it wasn't the state that were the first on the ground, it was actually the tribe. Hundreds of homes were impacted last year, millions and millions of dollars of damage. We were going door to door, and because of our resources, we could say what elders where they lived. We were able to use our database. So we started going home to home, targeting first like elders or people with lots of children, and then spread out from there and hit everybody. We brought our construction crews out. We were able to debris homes. We put up temporary shelters, and we were days ahead of everybody else. You know, we were ready.
The response from the tribe from last year, from being on the scene to helping people get out, to move to safety, to move their gear, to move everything, right? There's people who lost everything in the houses last year. So I think just helping respond this year and being proactive rather than reactive has helped a ton, I think, in mitigating what could have happened. And then being on planning, right? And we have access. We have access to different funding avenues that the city doesn't have, or the Forest Service, or NOAA, any government agency. I think that's helped us quite a bit.
It is really important to take note that when the feds work with the tribes, we bring other resources to the table. So, we were able to really be proactive, out get information on how to ready your homes. We were part of sandbagging and developing, helping support the city and borough of Juneau in the HESCO barrier plan. And we had the flood yesterday, and it was at a record high. Could have been catastrophic. Those barriers held up. So it just shows what working together can do, that the tribe having its rightful place in local, governance and leadership, working hand in hand with every form of government works. Whatever changes in the government, we're always going to be here. We're that constant. We're that through line. Our people are rooted here. And so through these programs that we uniquely bring to the table, we're going to enhance and enrich that visitor center in a way that I think will be pretty special. The Forest Service has actually been a really incredible partner and has really met us where we're at and made sure that we're there, and it's a positive situation.
We're both in the same mindset of what we want this place to look like, what we want to bring to the area for the people, and we just want to bring back a little more indigenous.
That's one of our big goals, inevitably, is to put the people of the place in the forest plan. It's not just about one place. It's not just about the resources. The forest is not itself without us, the people of the place here in it and helping managing it.
Our place here was to steward our natural resources, and that's what we're doing today. These agreements are honoring that legacy of who we are as Indigenous people and stewarding the lands, the waters, the resources. Every tribe should be doing this. Every tribe should have their place in telling the history of these lands.
As the tribe, sure, we'll come in and co-manage with you, but our mission's to stop that right? Our end goal is to manage. That's going to be ownership. That's going to be us working out there and running it out there. So, lofty goal, probably, but that's the end goal for sure.
I want this to be a success so we can pass it on, what we learned by co-stewardship with the Forest Service and the government, on how to move forward. Say, okay, you want to do this? Okay, this is what we've learned. This is what we can do to help you, and just make it grow. We have to keep this alive, to pass it on, to let people all over the world know we're here.